Is it? Oh, it is going. Okay. Well, hey everyone. Hey, I do have a quick announcement before I do get started. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning to my channel. I'm going live with an awesome entrepreneur. Her name is Kim. Tomorrow at 10:30 Central Time, and she'll be talking about her journey. But I just want to go ahead and get started because this topic it's always been interesting to me, especially lately in the news. We saw all the articles and videos come out about Jay-Z, right? He is a billionaire, which is awesome. And I feel like we are in the age of social media, right? So we see all these millionaires, we see these billionaires, people with mansions, fancy cars that cost them $500,000 a year. And we see this as a pinnacle of success, right? Success to us is, we have a ridiculous amount of money to do anything that we want, to buy anything that we want. But I know a few weeks ago I made a post and I said, what is success? What does success mean to you? And probably 95% of the responses, everyone just said, I want to be financially free, right? I just want financial freedom. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that financial freedom is achievable. You don't have to be a billionaire or even a millionaire in order to achieve that, right? So I just recently watched a interview with Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure you guys know who this is. He made the Rich Dad Poor Dad series and the cash flow game, the cash flow quadrant. And he was doing a video and he was saying, when him and his wife, they were only making about $120,000 a year, tax-free money, of course. They were making $120,000 a year and they were financially free, and people were saying, how are you only making $120,000 a year and you're financially free? That's absurd, right? Because $120,000 in the grand scheme of things, it's really not a lot of money. And so when you think of that, how can you be financially free and you're only making that much money? Well, they say, a wealthy man is a man who has enough, right? And so what Robert was explaining was that $120,000, tax-free money a year, that's about $10,000 per month. If your bills and your expenses and your lifestyle, if you're not having to spend that much money each month, your income is going to exceed what you're putting out, right? So say your bills, your house note, your car notes, to maintain your lifestyle, say you only have to spend about $3,000 a month. If you're bringing in $10,000 or more a month, I would say, you're on the brink of financial freedom because you're bringing in so much more than what you have to spend every month. And people don't always realize that. I know everyone, you see things online, you see people who are making, bukus of money. I mean, millions, billions of dollars. And you say, how can I achieve that? And sometimes because that goal is so far out from us, it is intimidating. And a lot of people don't even begin the journey to that path because it seems so far away from where they're at. And so what I always suggest is that why don't you start with a goal that's a little bit more realistic for you? So say you make $50,000 a year, say, okay, my goal is to make $100,000 a year. Figure out what you need to do in order to make that $100,000 and then keep upping your goal every time you hit a goal. Because if you're making $50,000 a year and you say, what, my goal is to make $1 million, which of course, I never want anyone to ever limit their dreams, ever limit their goals, but you also have to be realistic. If I don't know how to make $100,000, how can I know how to make $1 million, right? So sometimes we do have to be a little bit realistic and say, there are steps to it. Jay-Z didn't become a millionaire overnight, right? It took him years to get to that point, or a billionaire, I'm sorry. So that's why we have to set these realistic goals for ourselves and realize that you can achieve financial freedom. You don't have to be a billionaire in order to do so. Sean says income double or triple your expenses. Exactly, right? And so figure out how much money you have to make each month. I know a lot of people, when they are setting their budget, setting their goals, they often say, what do I need to survive? I always would say include things that you enjoy as well. What do you need in order to maintain your lifestyle, right? Maintain the lifestyle that you want, because at the end of the day, if you're willing to work for it, then I feel like you should have whatever it is that you want out of life. So figure out how much money you need to spend each month in order to maintain your lifestyle. And from there, you're able to figure out, okay, how much income, how much money, how much cash flow do I need to bring in each month in order to not only maintain that lifestyle, but exceed it, right? And so, like I was saying with Robert Kiyosaki, right, he was making $120,000 tax-free money a year, and he was financially free. And I know that there are a lot of people who make $1 million or more dollars a year, and they're not financially free because their expenses are so high. So this is why it is so important to, have passive income, have multiple streams of income, because if there is no security in where your money is coming from, you can't reach financial freedom, right? Because if you're working just a job and that's your only income, if that job is taken from you, if you're laid off, there is no security in that, because now you have to figure out, okay, how am I going to maintain this lifestyle now? So figure out how much you have to make each month, and that's how you can figure out how much you need to make in order to maintain your lifestyle. Because you don't have to make millions of dollars to be free, as long as your income is exceeding your expenses, as well as covering you for if there are any emergencies, because of course life happens, right? You cannot stop life from happening. You will get sick, family members will get sick, cars break down, things happen within your business that you may have to pay for. You have to also take that into consideration. So as long as you have enough cash reserves, as long as you're making enough money, having cash flow each month, you have multiple streams of income, you have passive income, then I believe that, financial freedom is achievable for anybody. And I don't want people to think that it is such a far-fetched goal that they don't even try to achieve it. Sean said, cash flowing assets, rental properties for cash flow in apartments. Exactly right. Cash flow is king. I always said cash flow is definitely king. As long as you have cash flow coming in every single month, right? And it's not reliant on how many hours you have to put in at work. If that cash flow is exceeding how much you have to spend to maintain your lifestyle, to me, that is success. To me, that is financial freedom. Of course, everyone is going to have their different versions and different definitions, but for me, that is financial freedom. And so I feel like if you make that your goal and say, okay, what do I need to do in order to achieve this? You will be able to live your life more abundantly. You'll be able to be happier and achieve success on your own level, right? Because realistically, not everyone in the world is going to be able to be a billionaire, and that's just what it is. That's just the truth, right? But you can still be successful and you can still have that freedom. We just have to keep that in mind. But I just wanted to come on here and share that. Make sure you guys tune into my channel. Oh, not my channel. It's not YouTube. Make sure you guys tune into my page tomorrow morning. I'll be going live with an awesome entrepreneur. Her name is Kim. And we'll be going, she'll be talking about her entrepreneur journey. She's super awesome. So make sure you guys tune in. Oops. And on that note, I will catch you guys later.